following day, I got up, did my same workout routine in the morning, and then I wanted to head over to Loro Parque, which was right down the road, not too far from where I was staying, probably about a 5 to 10 minute drive, and it was close to where I started from before I made that ascension up into the clouds the day prior. So I wanted to go to the park. I wanted to see what it had to offer because I wasn't certain. I knew that they had a whale show, but I didn't know much more than that. That's what I was apprised of. That's what somebody had told me, or that was the belief or the understanding that I took from what Loro Parque had to offer. So I went over there that day. I was waiting for my compadre that didn't end up showing up at the time that my compadre was supposed to. So I ended up getting over there at about 3 p.m. or so, maybe 3 to 4 p.m. Now what ended up happening is when I got there and I spoke to the person working at the front desk, they told me that, well, I could get the ticket and I could purchase it, which was 32 euros, just over 40 Canadian dollars, and I could get it, but what people usually walk around on average is about 3 to 4 hours, which is what you need to see everything in totality throughout the whole place, go through all the shows that they have and all the exhibits. I said, damn it, and I didn't end up going in that day. But at least I knew for the following day. So I ended up leaving from there. I eventually met up with my friend and we went over to a restaurant. They had live music. The lady, she sang really well. She sang some stuff in English, and the patrons in the restaurant they couldn't really follow the English songs too well. But when those Spanish songs came on, I mean, everybody was tuned in and following with those songs, and I mean everybody in that restaurant. But it was a good experience listening to this lady sing, because she had a beautiful voice. So me and my friend, we drank some wine, a little bit of hard alcohol, had some food. She's vegetarian. I ate some meat as well as some vegetarian stuff. I believe I had these little round balls. I can't remember what they're called, but they had a bit of chicken in them, with some other potatoes and a few other things that it was comprised of, and they were deep fried. Those are pretty good. I believe I had some salad, and I believe it would have been fish, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might have even been chicken. I can't recall right now. But the food itself, I can still taste it right now. It was good. It was very delectable. Delicious. So anyways, we were there for a while. We listened to the live band. She was really into it. That's like, she really loves that stuff. So we were there for an extended period of time, which was fine. Ate our food, had a couple of drinks, and left. Can't quite remember the name of the restaurant right now. Pretty sure you can probably see it somewhere here. It's a good restaurant, and it was located in Tenerife. I believe we were still in Puerto de la Cruz, but we were up higher in the hills somewhere. I used a lot of GPS. Maybe we should go back to the time before we had GPS. Probably have better memory and a better account of places that we'd frequent and go to, because we'd be forced to look at a map. But I use GPS, so I can't quite recall where it was that I was. But I do know that it was somewhere, the altitude was higher than normal, or than the lower parts of where I was staying. So after that, we had left and we went to see, and this was later on in the night. We went over to a couple spots that were in the area, still in Puerto de la Cruz, And there were just some little kind of bars. They had one at the bottom of a hotel. We had a couple drinks. The drinks were cheaper than in Canada, but still a bit pricey in there. They were probably around €8 or so, maybe €7, €9 within that range, which would have been between 10 to 12 Canadian dollars or so. We had a few drinks, and then we played darts. Now, I haven't played darts in years, but I played with my friend. She apparently plays darts often, and I still beat her. So there you go. I believe that was the end. Actually, we went further down, some other area where some other clubs were, or I guess nightclubs, bars. Bit of a distance, but I still believe we're still in Puerto de la Cruz. I can't quite recall the name right now. You'll probably see it again because I'll recall it at some point. But went to a club or nightclub around there. Got another few drinks, and called it a night. Now the following day, same routine, get up, work out, and then I made myself ready and available for Loro Parque. Now, I went over there at a reasonable time. I believe they closed at either 5 or 6 o'clock. And I'd gotten there from about 1:30, 1 to 2 p.m.
About to go to Loro Parque. Loro Parque.
So when I got in there, I moved somewhat quickly, but I was able to see everything they had to offer. When I got in, I saw some fish in a pond. They were all multicolored. Nothing out the usual nothing that I've never seen before, but still it looked nice. And then I went further in, saw some gorillas, apes. Went further, I saw all types of things, tigers, probably even some anteaters. I saw a killer whale show, seal show. The killer whale show was really interesting though. And one thing that they made me aware of when I was in there was that in Loro Parque, they first opened that place as a place to study sea creatures and other animals that were somewhat endangered. They wanted to study the habitat as well as their habits to know how we could better assist them in their living to help sustain their lives. So they brought in a bunch of animals. This was done through a few different countries in Europe. They came together, and as a union, they built this place to help understand and better direct whatever it was, resources towards helping and aiding in the sustainability of life for a lot of these animals and creatures, and or sea animals and creatures, and land animals, and whatever other animals that were in this park. And that's one of the main reasons why they created it. Now it's become a tourist attraction for people when they come over to Tenerife because it's a nice place to frequent. They have decent food in there. They have a buffet. They have some nice souvenirs. You can take your pictures. And they had a bunch of different shows. There's a dolphin show. I saw a show with a bunch of birds or parrots and a couple other birds. So I went around the whole place. I went around the whole interior of the place and saw everything from bats to rhinoceros to hippos to different snakes. You name it. They had everything you could think of. But it was a really good experience. Oh, even flamingos. The flamingos are really beautiful at the end. That was right before I was about to leave. And there was a bunch of them, and they were just running back and forth. But they have such a vibrant color that it's just so nice to see them run back and forth. Because it's so bright. And it just seems like they're so full of life. But the shows were great. All of them. And at the ending, before I left, they, at the beginning, it's when they actually took the picture when I first came in. And when I left, they post your picture right up on the bulletin board. You're kind of compelled into buying it. So I did. I believe it was somewhere around €8. About €8. 8 to 10 euros, somewhere within that range. Which would have been about 10 to 13 Canadian dollars. But I still have it to this day. And it's a good memory. So I thoroughly enjoyed Loro Parque. Very nice place to frequent if you happen to go to Tenerife and happen to pass by Porto de la Cruz.